Welcome, everybody, to New Orleans and the iconic Caesars Superdome, the long-term home of the All-State Sugar Bowl, which this year, of course, is part of the college football playoff. We've reached the semifinal stage, one last hurdle to clear before the national championship game. We'll find out here today which side has the toughness and the depth to keep driving toward that ultimate goal, the chance to raise that gold trophy over their heads. As we'll see the number 5 seed in this playoff, the Penn State Nittany Lions, taking on the top-seeded team in the playoff, the Alabama Crimson Tide. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Chris Fowler, joined by Kirk Herbstreit. It's been a tremendous college football playoff so far, and it's down to this, the semifinals. Which team will head on to the national championship game? Kickoff team out there. We are about to get cranked up for the semifinal collision. He's going to return it from deep in the end zone. Tackled at the 12. The coach wishes he left that one in the end zone. First down here for this offense. They'll run it from the gun. The sophomore with a strong tackle there.
You know, in the era that we live in right now, everybody wants to spread the field around, try to create space, try to create one-on-one matchups, and the defense is countered over the years by trying to play out wide. But here's a great example. The defense has the ability to play wide, but still be solid at the line of scrimmage, not give up big run plays.
On the opening drive, they face a tough 3rd and 7 here. Dropping back, they're going to throw for the first down. Gets the ball off as he's hit, but it's incomplete.
I see what the quarterback's trying to do here. He's holding on to that football to the last possible second to give that play a chance. But he held it just a little bit too long. And the defense is able to hit him to force that incompletion.
So instead of trying to pin the opponents deep with a punt, they'll go for it on 4th down. First drive of the game. Here's the snap. Quarterback looking to throw. And the pass is intercepted. A takeaway for the defense. Brought down after a short return at the 20 to snuff out the scoring threat in the red zone.
Boy, this is why I love this defense so much. So opportunistic. We've seen it all year, and now we see it right here. Big interception. They set their offense up in great field position here on their first possession.
First down play call. How aggressive will it be? Quarterback changing the play now at the line. First play of the drive, we're going to throw the football. He'll avoid the big hit with the slide.
How about this by the quarterback? He takes a negative play and turns it into positive yards and slides down before taking a big shot. It's an excellent job of getting down to avoid that big hit.
Second down play coming up for this offense. Quarterback drops back from the shotgun, looking for a receiver. Catch made across the middle by the running back. Defense wraps him up after the catch, but he's just short of the first down.
As quarterbacks, when you see man-to-man coverage, before the ball's even snapped, you're looking for a matchup you want to exploit and take advantage of. This time, he waits for the back to find that matchup with the linebacker, makes the throw, and picks up a first down.
Looks like Alabama will have the first down.
Well, that's a good, hard, tough running there to get that first down to keep this drive alive. Early in this game, the offense really asserting themselves. They're not thinking about a field goal. They're trying to put this ball in the end zone.
The defense backed up against their own end zone. Send the back in motion. He takes it into the end zone, but a marker is down, so hold on here. And the head coach will decide to accept the penalty and take the yardage. The Tide offense line up here on 1st and goal. Shotgun formation. Here's an inside give. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2.
I love that this defense is still fighting and still attacking. They're defending a 1st and goal play, and instead of just laying down and letting the offense score, no, they're not backing down. They get penetration and come up with a tackle for a loss.
After a disastrous first down play, they're backed up on 2nd and goal. And he'll set up to throw. Catch made on the left side. They bring him down. It's a very solid game, but still well short of the first down.
Well, this is the risk you take when you play man-to-man coverage and you leave a linebacker on a running back. The quarterback does a nice job of seeing that mismatch and getting the ball to the back for some good yards.
The offense has been moving backwards here. Now a long way to go on 3rd and goal. Here's the snap. Looking to throw here. Junior steps up and makes an impact play.
Chris, 3rd down here, they throw the football, which I have no problem with down inside his 10-yard line. But the big thing is the quarterback has got to do a better job working through his progressions to give himself a chance. The last thing he wants to do is take a sack, and now they're facing 4th down. Snap, the hold, the kick, everything there perfect to put 3 points up here for the offense.
And from deep in the end zone, he'll bring it out. And he's stopped at the 18. Return. He could play, but a touchback would have been a better idea. And the Penn State offense comes back on the field. This offense trying to bounce back the last possession and then in a pick. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Catch made by the tight end. That's a quick tackle, but they pick up solid yardage on that short throw.
Well, that's pretty good coverage here by this defense. Not much of a window to throw this ball into, but the quarterback's accuracy and the size of the tight end picks up a nice gain.
And a short pitch and catch to the tight end. Brought down at the 33. That's good enough to move the sticks.
Well, this is called settling down in his own defense, just kind of finding that soft spot. So not only does this tight end show that he's got great athletic ability and great size, here he shows that he understands coverage by sitting down in that hole, giving the quarterback a nice target, able to pick up that first down.
Important second down play coming up. Out of the shotgun, he hands it off. And the play is good enough for a first down. They'll move the ball to the 44.
How about the offensive line here? Just a hat on a hat, opening up just enough room for the back to squeeze through there for a nice gain.
It's an out route. The catch made. He'll go down right there. Worked his way for a short gain, but not enough for the first down.
Well, they don't pick up the first down here, but if you can use the quick passing game to stay ahead of the chains, it definitely helps your offense. And if that defense starts to creep up and take that away, that's when you can take a shot downfield.
From the shotgun, it's a handoff. And he's brought down, but he does have enough for the first down.
What a nice job here by this offensive line in the back to pick up this first down. And, Chris, you know better than me growing up in this area. Penn State's offense and the ability to run the ball, probably been doing it as well as anybody in college football for decades, going back to guys like the late, great Franco Harris and Kajana Carter and Larry Johnson and Miles Sanders more recently, and, of course, Saquon Barkley. And the list goes on of great Penn State running backs, and I'm sure they're proud to see him run the football the way he is today.
Offense getting set for a second down here to begin the quarter. Drops back from the shotgun, looking for an open man. Short connection to the tight end here. The defense reacts quickly, a very short gain on the play.
That's what makes this tight end so dangerous. You can flex him out into that slot position. He shows you his versatility. He can be an inline guy that can block, but here he shows you what he can do with his hands.
Shotgun formation here on third down. When they hit him just as he releases the ball, it's incomplete.
Hey, the good news is here, Chris, they're still in field goal range, and they didn't cost themselves any points, but they could have more. Got to be thinking about going for this on fourth and short.
The offense couldn't convert on fourth down the last time in this situation. Let's see if they can this time. Looking to throw again. Bringing pressure. That's incomplete. He was hit as he threw. Great defensive play on fourth down.
This is the chance you take here as an offensive coordinator and a play caller. You go for it here. You draw it up perfectly. You think this is the right play, and then the execution is not there. So the defense catches a break, and they get the ball back to their own offense.
He'll hand it off. Fights through the tackler. They've got him down out near the 40.
You know, a lot of people feel running backs with elite speed shy away from contact. That wasn't the case there. Instead of running around the defender, this back elected to run right through him.
Handoff from the shotgun. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2. That was that excellent linebacker with a clear path just running downhill quickly.
You know, I think one of the great things about watching this guy play all year is his vision. He just has great instincts. That time the defensive line ate up all the linemen, freed up the linebacker to get into the backfield, and the result is a tackle for a loss for the backer.
Pre-snap motion from the receiver. Drops back, needing a third down completion here. That one is incomplete. The defender was right there, and it brings up fourth down now.
Well, Chris, obviously they had to go through the air there to try to pick up this third down and long, but when you're so far behind the chains, you really allow this defense to dictate things, and it allows them to put pressure on your quarterback and can affect the timing, as we saw in this play.
Fourth down, looking to throw for it. Makes the catch, and that is enough for a first down. They bring him down, but that's a solid gain on the play.
Boy, the defense is in the right coverage here. Looked like they had exactly what they wanted to be able to come up with a stop here on fourth down. But there's the timing between a quarterback and the receiver. They knew exactly where they needed to go. Great timing and a first down.
Defense able to stop the ball carrier there.
Well, the back just had nowhere to go. How about the defensive line? They eat up all the blocks up front, freeing those linebackers up to be able to make the play. Just a bad play all around for this offense.
Offense getting set up. Here's second down. Offense moving receivers around now before the snap. It's a screen pass complete to the running back. Breaking free at the 35. To make the tackle, but it's enough for a first down. Good call in that screen play.
You know, Chris, you think about it, efficiency has always kind of been the description of a great Alabama quarterback. Man, think about the playmakers that they've had over the last few years at this position. Jalen, Tua, Bryce Young recently. Just a different level of quarterback play and really gives this offense an edge to it.
And he goes nowhere. Stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. What's the play call here on second down for this offense? Quarterback looking to connect with the receiver here. And the pass is complete to the tight end. And they finally stop him down at the 5. Solid gain on that catch and run.
Well, this is what you see all over college football and even up, obviously, in the NFL. These tight ends that are really recruited as big receivers, and they can get one-on-one matchups, and they've got speed after the catch. This is a short throw. You can see what he does after the catch, and he is a tough matchup for whether it's a safety, a nickel, or a linebacker.
Alabama's offense now lining up on 1st and goal. Back goes in motion now. Let's see how the defense adjusts. Couldn't quite get in, but they're knocking on the door at the 1.
Chris, down here inside the 10-yard line, these are tough yards to come by. Positive yards. Good push inside there by that offensive line.
All right, it's 2nd down and goal now for this offense. And he'll make it in for the score. Touchdown, Alabama.
Chris, it's a great touchdown run here by this back. But the continuity of this offensive line was on display, and that's the reason he was able to get into the end zone.
And the extra point gives him a double-digit lead. Kickoff team on the field getting set now. He's going to return it from deep in the end zone. And he stopped at the 18. Returner trying to make a play, and a touchback would have been a better idea. And the Nittany Lions offense retakes the field. Not a whole lot of time remaining before halftime to cut into this lead. First play of the drive, they'll come out throwing. Here's a screen pass to the running back. They're finally able to stop him, but the defense is fooled a bit on that screen play. It's a solid gain for a 1st down. Big guys up front lined up. It's 1st down. From the gun, he looks for an open man. It's incomplete. He was hit as he threw. Good pass rush there on 1st down. Incompletion makes it 2nd down. And he drops back in the gun. Short throw complete to the tight end. But he goes down after a short gain. That's not enough for the 1st down.
And here the tight end shows off his hands for a nice gain. Love to see the big man get his touches.
3rd down upcoming after that completion. Quarterback sets up, looking for an open man. And that's incomplete. They weren't afraid to let it fly, but it brings up a 4th down.
On 3rd and short, the offense coordinator has his entire playbook open. You could run it or you could throw it. Either one's available. They chose to go through the air here. They're just not able to hit it.
The kick mishandled. The ball is loose. And the returner is tackled by this punt coverage team.
Well, I thought the return team did a really good job of giving him some room to work with. I feel like the returner was so focused on making a big play downfield that he forgot to take care of the football, and it cost him.
Defense is coming after him. And that's just thrown away. A pretty obvious intentional grounding call. Yeah, here's the marker. Offense getting set. It's 2nd down. From the shotgun, drops back. The pass is intercepted. Going the other way, can they catch him? Across the 40. At the 20. Past the 10. Going to take it all the way in. Pick 6. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. And a pick six, a monster play by this defense here, Kurt.
That defender showed a lot of athletic ability there with the ball in his hands. I wouldn't be surprised if the head coach watching that thought about maybe giving him some reps as a returner after that touchdown.
Extra point makes it a 17-point game. So after the touchdown, here's the kickoff, and we'll see if the opposing offense has time to answer before halftime. And from deep in the end zone, he'll bring it out. Tackled at the 14. Not very good field position to start here. And the Penn State offense is back out on the field. It'd be a surprise if they took a risk here with the final seconds of the first half, backed up near their own end zone. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Sacked, dropped at the 3. Timeout called by the defense. They'll go to the sideline and try to adjust. It's their first timeout.
I personally love the aggressive approach here by this offensive coordinator. You got to take some chances. You got to create some matchups. But if you don't protect the quarterback, you have no chance.
That sack sets up a second down and long. There's some pre-snap movement in the backfield. Quick pass. Here comes a jet sweep. And the sophomore able to bring him down quickly. And now a timeout quickly called by the defense as they try to get everybody on the same page here. The offense comes back out there. Not much time left. Perhaps just time for a couple plays before the half. He's going to hand this off. He's stopped short of the marker, so it's 4th down now. So a timeout is called. Just a few seconds left here in the first half. The Nittany Lions will bring their punt team onto the field when he comes for his second punt of the game. Oh, he's got a crease here. Look out. And the coverage team makes the stop on this return. This will likely be the last play of the half. Has the first down, still on the move. Great effort there to get points before halftime, but they stop him short of the goal line. The Meadows going to wrap up the first half here. Let's kick it now to Kevin Connors with our halftime update. And the Nittany Lions will kick it away to get us going in the second half. Returner decides to fair catch this. Here comes the Crimson Tide offense onto the field. Powers through. They get the senior to the ground, but it's a nice run there.
Well, here's the first play to start this second half, and it's really more the same of what we saw in the first half. Really no need to make drastic changes. What you were doing in that first half gave you the lead. Just keep working on it.
See what the call is on 1st and 10. It's a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9 coming up.
See, that's how you limit what an offense wants to do. This time, the defense just won the battle up front at the line of scrimmage, not giving up any big plays. Everybody's gap sound, and it's really solid defense on that play.
2nd down play coming up. Handoff here from the shotgun. Solid game, moves the ball to the 43.
There's just not a whole lot of options here for this quarterback on the RPO. The defense, give them credit. They did a nice job of sniffing it out. wouldn't be surprised if the quarterback is second-guessing that decision of giving it to the back instead of pulling that and either running it himself or maybe making a nice throw.
An explosive play. Big game. Spotted down near the 37.
Well, this quarterback is unflappable. Here they are working with the lead in the second half. Get to a third down. You got to throw the football. This is where you trust the quarterback to make a good decision, an accurate throw. He does it. You convert, and you keep working that clock.
Receiver looks it in. It's complete. Tackle made after a big gain.
You know, we talked this week with the offensive coordinator about what makes this receiver so special. He kept referring to his route running. Here's an example of that. Great route, enough separation to give the...
And he's going to fling it deep, going for it all here. Intercepted in the end zone.
Wow, a risky call by the offensive coordinator, playing with the lead in the playoff in the second half, throwing the football. I don't disagree with it, but now you give this defense a chance to create a turnover, and they capitalize here with the pick.
Looks over the middle, and that's complete. Defense finally brings him down, but a nice chunk play.
This is what makes the RPO so difficult to defend if you have a quarterback who can read it. It's that old argument, which guy has the chalk last? Well, with a quarterback that can read it like that, the quarterback has the chalk last. He reads that they're up, makes the throw in the quick slant, gets some really good yards.
And a big game before he goes out of bounds. The offense keeps churning, gets a fresh set of downs. Still looking for that elusive touchdown, but finally this offense is moving. First down and 10. Caught quickly. They've got him, but he picks up 8 yards. Sets up a nice 2nd and 2.
Quarterback looks downfield to make this throw. He wants to be able to get the ball to be able to pick up enough yards for a first down. But instead, he gets the ball at least underneath to the drag route and gets some positive yards.
They try a downfield shot. That's a good effort there. But now it's third down. Urgency now for the offense that hates to come up empty on this drive, down multiple scores. The DB's right near the line now, showing press coverage. They make the first down, brought down to the 31.
This is why they're in the playoff, right? Not just the ability to throw the ball, but you get to a critical moment, a third down. You trust that offensive line to come up with a first down, and they get it.
Nittany Lions lining up here on 1st and 10. And the quarterback dropping back. Delivers from the pocket, complete over the middle. They bring him down after a short gain there.
Chris, that's a great example of his arm strength. He just fired the ball in there much quicker than the defense could even react.
That completion makes it 2nd and medium. They snap it. Quarterback looking to throw the ball. Makes a quick grab. He'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Chris, it just feels like the offense is almost teasing the defense with this play. As an offensive coordinator quarterback, you're often looking for that soft spot in the zone. And here, they do a nice job of finding that hole for a nice gain.
Brought down, but the completion moves the ball inside the 10-yard line. Defense getting pushed back.
This is an example of a quarterback and his offense just taking what the defense gives him. Not a huge play, but positive yards. The defense wants to give that throw to you. You take it, get the ball to your receiver, stay ahead of the sticks.
They stop him just short, but defense really backed up now. It's 1st and goal. The Nittany Lions will line up now. It's 1st and goal. On the ground, trying to power toward the goal line. He powers into the end zone. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. That kind of execution, a long drive, that's why this team made it to the college football playoff.
That's exactly right. Being able to mix in the run with a pass, picking up first downs, and eventually coming up with the touchdown. That is a tough thing to do, and they made it look easy.
Kickoff team is on the field to boot this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so a touchback will start at the 25. Alabama's offense coming back onto the field. They had some good things going on the last drive, but it ended suddenly with the pick. Let's see what they can do here. Looks left and finds his target there. They bring him down, but an explosive play by this offense. Big game.
You know, plays like this are what Alabama offense is all about. They run the football, and then they're efficient within their passing game. Think about it. They won a couple national championships with Greg McElroy and A.J. McCarron by just being efficient and playing smart at the position and being a great complement to that running game in the defense.
Fresh set of downs for the offense after that first down completion. Quarterback appears to be changing the play. It's a toss to the left side. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there. Offense getting set. Second down play here. Quarterback drops back, probing the secondary. Looks downfield and finds a receiver who worked his way wide open. They bring him down, but a big chunk of yardage on the play. Alabama comes up to the line quickly. Snapping it from the red zone now, looking to throw. Freshman introducing himself to the quarterback there.
Chris, what a play here by this linebacker to come up with this sack. I love the call to be able to blitz him here, to be able to put pressure on the quarterback. And over the years, my gosh, I don't know if there's another school in the country that's had as many linebackers with a playmaking ability as Penn State. Micah Parsons most recently, but going back to LeVar Arrington and Sean Lee and Paul Posluszny, I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Here we go. First play of the quarter. Offense setting up for a second down play. There's the snap. They'll set up to throw. Again, he's just trapped and sacked in the pocket.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, Chris. As people like to say, this is an obvious passing situation. It's really hard to vary things up and confuse the defense. This time, the defensive line just came right in, expecting the pass, and blew up the play.
After consecutive losses, he needed a miracle here on 3rd and a mile. There's the snap. Quarterback setting up to throw. Hit as he releases it, and the pass ball is incomplete.
Hey, it's an incompletion, but it's a nice job by the quarterback. I know it didn't pan out, but the most important thing is he didn't turn the football over, and he didn't take a sack. It'll give your kicker a chance to put some points on the board if they opt for the field goal here on 4th down.
The offense already has one 4th down conversion. Can they do it for a second time? Here's the snap. Quarterback drops back. He's running out of time here. And he's brought down. A sack by the defense coming up big on this 4th down play.
Wow, Chris, I don't know. You've got control of this game, and you go for it here? A little bit confusing. Why even allow your opponent any chance of anything? Finish out the win and just punt it away.
First play of the drive, looking to throw the football. Caught near the sideline, but just a short gain. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain, more than enough to pick up a first down. First down and 10 now. And the quarterback drops back, looking for an open man. And he just throws the ball away there. Nobody open. Excellent coverage. Incomplete, so it's second down and 10. From the shotgun, drops back, looking for an open man. And he'll loft it to the end zone. Oh, and he can't hang on. Wow, would have been a touchdown. Got to shake that off now. It's 3rd down coming up. Offense been in reverse here. Now a long way to go to convert this 3rd down. Dropping back, looking to throw for the first down. Looking for the tight end, and it's caught. They make the first down, brought down to the 31.
Hey, it's a nice game here, and they get the first down to stop the clock. But late in the game, trailing by a couple scores, these receivers have got to be thinking about getting out of bounds as often as they can to preserve that clock, to give them a real shot to come back to win it.
Second down after that previous play. Quarterback drops back. We're going to test the secondary. Trying to squeeze one in there, but it's incomplete. So now it's 3rd and short from the 23. Potential 4-down territory. Let's see what the 3rd down call is. Can he get there on the ground? There's the tackle, but 1st down yardage.
You know, even though that these guys are facing a deficit, they're not just going all through the air. Love the fact that you're running the football, keeping this defense honest, not panicking by just throwing every single down. Now you get a new set of downs and a chance to keep moving the ball down the field.
1st and goal, they'll try to run it in. And he gets to the end zone. Touchdown, Penn State. Kirk, you look for rust, you look for jitters in the opening drive, not any sign of it for that offense.
You know, the offensive coordinator, when we talked with him this week, he had a feeling that this offense was going to be able to start fast, but I don't even know if he thought they would look this good this early.
The extra point cuts the lead to 3, 17-14. Kickoff team has come on the field now to send this one away. Kick bounces out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Alabama offense onto the field. The last time they went forward on 4th down, didn't get it, and ended up costing them 6 points. And they bounce back here.
Chris, good job here on this stop, but remember the ball is inbounds and the clock keeps moving here late in the game and you're trailing. As a defense, you got to start thinking about utilizing those timeouts. You got all 3 to use. What point are you going to start putting those into play?
Getting set. Here's 2nd down. And they're moving the receiver now before the snap. They'll look to throw it here on 2nd down. And it's intercepted. A crushing play.
Boy, I got to question the play call right here. Give the defense credit. They get the interception. They put themselves in a spot to maybe tie this game. But what was the offensive coordinator thinking with the lead, taking a chance, and it backfired?
Here's a handoff on 1st and goal. And he's able to find some room before they finally bring him down.
Just love watching his back run. Gets behind that offensive line, lowers his pads, and gets a nice, solid gain.
Solid gain puts him in good position for 2nd down and goal. And we've reached now the 2-minute warning. Sets up as a dramatic finish as this offense tries to grab the lead late here. See if the offense can punch it in on 2nd and goal. And they'll try the quarterback sneak.
No, I don't blame them. Go with the quarterback sneak here to try to pick up just enough yards for the 1st down. But, hey, man, give credit to that defense. They did not budge at all. They kept him short of the 1st down.
Urgency here in the 4th quarter. They must cut into this lead. It's 3rd down and goal. And they're trying to punch it in here. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. And they claim the lead here in the final quarter.
Chris, what a great job. What a celebration by this offense. They worked so hard to get it close enough. They punch it in behind that offensive line, and now they've got the lead with less than 2 minutes to go.
No problem with PAT right down the middle. The kickoff team on the field now as they get set to send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone. The offense will start at the 25. So here comes the Alabama offense back onto the field. The last possession ended in an interception. Let's see if they continue to trust this quarterback in the passing game. First play of the drive, they look to the right. Stop at the 36. That's good enough to move the sticks. The clock is still running. They got to get set quickly. Quarterback making some changes at the line. Looking to throw it on first down. Looking for his big tight end. And it's complete downfield. Not much after the catch, but it is good enough for a first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, this guy's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. And here we are, late in the game. He needs to continue to play with that consistency. That's a great example that he's up to it.
On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. He's going to pull it down and run. And a nice gain there in the scramble. He saw an opening and tried to get there with his legs. They'll crank up the tempo here on 2nd down. The time is running out. Motion now from the tight end. Quarterback wants to throw it on 2nd down. Can't get it away. The defense has got him. What a huge stop at this stage of the game. And the coach quick. Timeout after the play, trying to hold on to as much time as possible. They're backed up here, trying to make something happen on 3rd and long. There's some pre-snap movement, back in motion. He flips it to the back across the middle. They make the stop just short of the marker. It's getting 4th down and inches. From the shotgun, handoff inside. And he starts short. Huge play by the defense on 4th down. They will take over, protecting this lead.
How about the offense being aggressive? They decided to go for it here, and I got to give all the credit to this defense. Being aware, anticipating the call, knowing exactly where they needed to make the stop, and they did it.
So with the lead secure here, it's time to just take a knee, run out the clock, and plan the victory celebration. Well, that's a great performance in a pressure moment, but now the job gets even more exciting, even bigger as they go on to the national championship game and play for that trophy.
And this is a new era. I mean, think about the weeks, the amount of games that these guys have been able to play, and to be able to accomplish this, to get to the national championship, that says everything about the endurance of this football team, both mentally and physically. And they get one more hurdle to see if they can become the national champs.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.